Good afternoon, good morning, or good night to you. My name is Jackson Powley. This is my MEA 100 assignment, and it is on the Ohio River flood of 1937. Now, I took it upon the liberty of myself I probably didn't phrase that right, but I put a small slice of Louisville into Minecraft. I built all of this, and because I thought it would be better than just, looking at slides and boring text and whatnot. So a little bit of interactivity, get you to focus and pay attention. Yeah. So this is Louisville, 1937, right after the Great Depression. So things were going up again, because it was everything was so low at the Depression. People are making money now, as you can see by this. The industries were booming. The coal, that's the coal plant. Just like to point that out, that is the factory and the coal manufacturing plant that represents all of them across Ohio. Just this one. I can't fit a million buildings. You get it. But yeah, the shipping industry was going good. They were making money here. And boy, were they making money at the factory. There are a lot of people at work today. They were really just putting out some electricity. Electricity being a whole new thing. So they have to put it in every home. They got to put a lot of it in there. One thing I would like to mention, though, is the toxic runoff that has been produced here. I will get back to that information later. But 1937, they had horses and stuff. Old people, yuck, I know. People were outside going about their day-to-day lives. It was good. It was good in Ohio at this time. That guy just fell off that mountain. I don't know what they're doing up there. But farm. Yeah, Ohio was covered in farms. It was a flat place. It still is a flat place. It still is covered in farms. Um, this represents all of the farmland across Ohio at this time. It was a booming industry, and they were making loads of money from it. Foreshadowing. Anyways, let's go and talk about the actual flood. So on January 13th of 1937, it started to rain a little bit. And I might have understated a little bit because it rained a lot. And I mean a lot. It rained a lot. It rained for like 2 weeks, for 12 days. That's like almost 2 weeks, I think. No. Yeah, that's almost 2 weeks. Um yeah, 15 inches of rain fell in these 2 weeks. That is a lot of rain. That is a lot of rain. It actually surpassed levels. They actually had floods. Ohio had floods in 1884 and 1773. And the flood in 1937, the one that I'm covering, obviously, passed those records by 9 feet. It reached 80 feet in Cincinnati, which is mind-boggling. I can't even process that. That's like up to those buildings up there. Uh, yeah. So around January 18th or 19th, it started. The Ohio River started to expand. Expand was not the right word. I meant rise. It started to rise a little bit. It didn't look like this. It didn't look like a small tsunami. But you take what you get. Um, yeah, it started to rise. The docks were filling up. People were starting to scream and be scared because it was raining a lot. And I like the sun. They probably did too. It was creeping up, really. I mean, that looks pretty scary to me. These guys are biting their fingernails, as you can probably tell. Um, yeah, it rained a lot. Put it bluntly, it rained a lot. So let's get on with the actual flood. Around January 24th or 23rd, however, the water was about up to here. Now, you're going to see this and you're going to think, no way this actually happened. No, it didn't happen like this. It was not a tsunami. It was not like 2012. Y'all seen that movie with like Dwayne the Rock Johnson? He's like saved Los Angeles, whatever. It looks pretty fun to watch this way though. It would have been probably a lot more devastating if this actually happened. But I can't just raise the water levels in Minecraft because I don't know how to do that. Yeah, everything was getting wiped out. January 24th. Let's get around how people got around back then. Let's pop a boat down. Am I in a boat? No, I'm not. Hold on. Technical difficulties. All right. These people had to move around their streets in boats. I mean, look at this. I mean, we're halfway. The door is down there, and we're it's submerged in water. And this is what people had to do. The horses were freaking out. Let me just tell you, historical accuracy is what I strive for here. The horses were going ballistic. Let's swim on down the way. Electricity, actually, let's go back here for a second. Let's turn our little boat around. Yeah, no more electricity. The power plant is not working. There might be smoke coming out of it, but trust me, it's not running. Remember that runoff? All of these people in that runoff right here, that toxic runoff? Yeah, it's in the waters now. Everything is getting contaminated. These people are getting contaminated. Let's hop in our boat again, actually, right quick. Let's swim on down to that good old farmland that I was talking about earlier. There is really something crazy with these horses, I'm telling you. There's something strange in these waters, dude. So it's freaking me out. But yeah, people, look at all of the crops. I mean, they're all completely destroyed. Let's get out of the boat. The boat restricts me. Farmland completely destroyed. Houses submerged, you know. I saw this one picture online, and it was of a house sitting on top of a tree, and I don't know how to edit pictures into stuff like this, so I made it in Minecraft. This house is sitting in a tree. It pretty much looked like this. It was like white, kind of, with stone roof, I think. Unfortunately for the resident inside, he was still in it. Michael. He's floating on top of a tree right now, so he's not ever getting out of that house. But yeah, it was crazy. They couldn't access lights. People had to put chlorine and iodine to purify their drinking water. They couldn't drink any of the water because, you know, it was contaminated by the factories and runoff and whatnot. It led to shortages around the state. The crops led to shortages around the state. They couldn't eat, they couldn't drink, they couldn't turn on the lights, so they had to flee. 1 million people actually became homeless because of this, and physically the flood killed 350 people. It either drowned them or it knocked buildings over, whatnot, which is tragic, to say the least. Let's see, let's go on down the list here. Alright, so after the flood happened, let's just pretend the water went back down and there's just chaos and destruction everywhere. People demanded, you know, flood prevention things, you know, by the government. Hey, it stopped raining, look at that. So the government, specifically the president, sent in a few $1,000,000. As you can tell, that's a lot of money. FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, for those of you who do not know, my favorite president. I think he was a pretty cool guy. He sent in a bunch of money, and so the local government started to use that money, and they made a 9-foot trench from Kentucky to Knoxville, to control the river's flow and to capture some water if it, you know, ever flooded again, so it won't overflow. So this water moves somewhere else, so it won't flood the city. You know what I'm saying? These guys are having the time of their lives just swimming in it. I wouldn't be swimming in that because that's probably, you know, contaminated, whatever. They also built a couple dams. Yeah. A few dams. Yeah, it's a damn big dam. You know what I'm saying? Pun intended. Excuse my language. But if you got that joke, like the video. um, yeah, it was pretty crazy, but you know, eventually they came back. A few smaller towns on the coast didn't come back. They never recovered. They were abandoned, actually, such as New Amsterdam. They could not recover. Everything was destroyed, and they did not have the money to fund building anything new. So they just, I don't know, they just went somewhere else, I guess. But Louisville returned. Cincinnati did, obviously, too, because we're still talking about it today. Because of the 84 modern dams and levees across the state to prevent any future flooding. Floods did actually happen after this. People were better prepared for it. Some in the 60s, there was one in the 90s, I think 1997. This place, the Ohio River likes to flood a lot, which, yeah, but they covered it in the future. Yeah, that's about all. I don't know. That's about all the information I got. I don't really know what to do from here. Actually, I would like to do this one thing. All right, technical difficulties. Bear with me. Hold on. Bear with me. I would like to just blow the entire town away because I think that would be pretty fun and, you know, Give me extra credit. All right, so that's didn't work. Let me try it again. There it is. Goodbye, Ohio. Hopefully this doesn't break my PC. That just all right. It might have destroyed my PC. All right, there it is. We're good now. Yeah, that's all the information I got for you. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night or morning. I don't know, whichever one.